right, we've got the kit for Tigra. We're going to go over it. The most important thing is that this new Avenger team is going to be required for the next legendary character. So just like Nowhere was required to unlock Black Cat, the new Avengers are going to be required for the next legendary character, and it's primarily going to be a war team. Initially, it looked like this team was going to be war defense, but we saw on Friday's blog post that they were changing the war defense specific abilities to be war abilities, and I think that is an insanely good idea for sure. So it'll be the next legendary trait requirement. Let's go over the document, and we're going to read about the events. Then we're going to go over the kits, not only for Tigra, but we're also going to look at briefly how Thing, Coulson, Ronin, and Mockingbird are all going to play out. New Avengers have been approved along with special event offerings, great rewards for unlocking the team early. Starting on Thursday, September 7th, which is 2 days from now, there will be a special events that reward players who invest in the newest of the new Avengers team, the new Avengers team they called Meet the New Recruits. This milestone event will last for a little more than 3 weeks and have special scoring criteria. Players will get points to unlock new characters, Ronin, Mockingbird, and Tigra. You can continue to earn progress by leveling them up or ranking any new Avenger, including Thing and Coulson. Finally, you can earn even more progress by using the characters in war. And the more stars you have in the characters, more points you get. It looks like Agent Coulson and Thing will get points only if they're at 7 stars, where the other 3 members will get bonuses on tiers at 4, 6, and 7. Even though it's part of the scoring, none of the 948 points for level up in New Avengers are factored in the milestone points needed to complete the event. If a player chooses not to take advantage of the New Avengers offers and only engages with the weekly events for the month of September, they can reach milestone 4 of the rewards of this event, which will net that player 1 million gold, 2 Apocalypse Bounty Orbs, and more. This requires unlocking 2 of the 3 new characters and leveling any of the New Avengers, 237 levels combined. I guess we're going to have to see the details to make sense of that. Players who rank up the newest new Avengers. Wow, that's 3 news. The new Avengers will earn even more rewards, including all of that good stuff right there. Boy, we definitely need dark promotion credits. It feels like dark promotion credits is his stranglehold right now. So I think this is just a formatting thing. I'm sure this is a work in progress that they just gave to me early to make a video. Tigra, Hero, Global, Bio, Protector, New Avenger. We're going to go right to the passive, and it looks like her kit is all about dodge and evade. On spawn, apply 2 evade to self and 1 random adjacent New Avenger ally. It gets a lot better in war. On dodge, fill speed bar by 3%, gain 20% damage, gain 20% health. Now in war, on spawn, gain speed up. And she's a pretty fast character, 126. On spawn, gain speed up. On spawn, apply +3 evade up to a maximum 5 to all New Avenger allies, which that sounds pretty good. Lower damage reduction by 25% for all enemies with bleed. Lower resistance by 50% for all enemies with bleed. New Avenger allies gain 20% damage and then also 15% max health. Now we're going to go to the special. Special's going to pop off first. 7/7. Attack primary target and do damage and put bleeds out there. And the bleeds are going to synergize with her passive, which will lower the damage reduction for all enemies with bleed and lower resistance for all enemies with bleed. So there's going to be bleeds on her kit. Rebound chain up to 4 adjacent targets. And apply more blades. Then gain evade. Gain taunt. Oh. Gain defense up at 3, death proof. Wow. In war, gain additional 2 evades up to a maximum of 5. Wow. You're going to have attacks that can get through that. Gain immunity and safeguard. I wonder if Quicksilver can get through that with his basic pretty easily. I don't know. This attack cannot be blocked or counterattacked. Seems interesting. I'm liking it. Ultimate, energy cost 6/6. Attack all enemies for damage and clear immunity. Apply bleed for 2 turns. More bleed. Gain evade up to maximum 5. Gain taunt maximum of 3. In war, apply slow plus trauma. Oof. Apply an additional 2 bleeds for 2 turns to all enemies, and then gain additional evades and additional taunt, and the attack cannot be blocked. And then we've got the basic, which is attack, and of course, apply bleed, and then chain and apply bleed. Any target with already has bleed, apply an additional 2 bleeds to that target. In war, gain an extra evade up to maximum of 5. Counterattack breaks this chain, and then wow, it looks like the ISO counterattacks, which sometimes is referred to as a safety tech. And I wish this information was in-game or on the website, but right now we've got it here. Sometimes this is the only place that we get this information. Attack primary target for piercing, apply bleed. If the target already had bleed, an additional bleed to that target. War, gain evade up to a maximum of 5. That seems pretty good. I know that Ronin has a turn meter reduction, which is like an auto striker in my opinion right here. I mean, this looks pretty powerful. Now, this was changed from just being like on war defense to just war, which is just great. Reduce speed bar for primary target for 5% plus another 5% per new Avenger ally. And that also works on the ISO 8 counterattack assist. And that's kind of a big deal. And I think that characters in the past that have some sort of mechanic like this typically get the striker ability because turn meter reduction is a very, very powerful mechanic in this game, as one would expect. So pretty much everything is similar as to before, but they're removing the war defense and they're making it straight war. So this can be used, I suppose, on war defense and war offense. We'll have to see where they land. I don't know. It seems kind of bonkers. It kind of feels like the team was initially designed for war defense. So maybe this will find a place being on war defense initially, but we will have to see. Mockingbird, same thing. Changes here where all the changes are going to be more set up for war in general rather than just war defense. So there's no mention of war offense or war defense on these characters, and I think that's fantastic. And then they also have boosted the thing stats. Look at the thing stats. Speed up by 16%. Thing was so incredibly stole. I think this is going to be interesting. War attacks instead of war defense. On war defense, right here, this attack targets the enemy with the highest focus, instead ignoring taunt. So even though that has the war attack, that's just a targeting mechanic. That's not necessarily like a drastically different mechanic. It doesn't work differently. Adds the stun mechanic, and then also the special is going to hit a bunch of times. We've gone over the rest of this kit in other videos, and this right here, again, massive stat increases to Coulson. But imagine that Coulson is going to be useful perhaps on war offense even now before we get the full team, because in war, clear all positive effects to the enemy with the most damage. Apply defense down for 2 turns, top for 2 turns, and disruptor for 2 turns, and most damage. Boom, 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 boom. Wow, right? And there's just so many other crazy things going on with this kit. And also, if it's going to be required for this team, for the next legendary character, similar to the Black Cat, I'm going to guess that they're going to have a Scourge that or Pact, whatever they're called now, where it's going to be able to turn that Pact on, and all the war bonuses will be enabled. And so this will probably be a thing going forward. So we're going to have to upgrade them one way or another, you know, for the next legendary character. And the last 2 legendary characters, Black Cat and Nova, have been impactful. Actually, I've been pleasantly surprised with Black Cat. Even at 4 yellow, she's been very good. So what do you think about all of this? I'm pretty excited. I think some people don't particularly care for war teams. And so I know that there was some rumblings about this being a war team being disappointing. The Nowhere team is not really getting a lot of use outside of war, with the exception of Nova. Some of the characters, I suppose, could have gone to DD6, but it's a war offense team, and I know a lot of people prefer the flexibility of the Secret Defenders team, because the Secret Defenders team, my goodness, like, they're getting used in most game modes, like in Cosmic Crucible, Alliance War for sure, and of course in Arena, and Nowhere not so much. So we'll have to see how this plays out with the new Avengers. But I know there's been some rumblings that wouldn't it have been nice if it was the Secret Defenders were the unlock requirement for the next legendary, but I guess they wouldn't do that. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming. Bye for now.